The Lynton and Barnstaple Railway was a 2-foot narrow gauge railway which connected the North Devon river port town of Barnstaple to the coastal town of Lynton. It ran for slightly over 19 miles and passed through some of the most rugged and picturesque landscape in England. It operated for a mere 37 years, opening in May 1898 and closing in September 1935. On closure, a wreath was laid on the buffer stop at Barnstaple Town Station, which read, "To Barnstaple and Lynton Railway, with regret and sorrow, from a constant user and admirer. Perchance it is not dead, but sleepeth." After closure, the trackbed was sold off piecemeal, often reverting to the original owners, and for 60 years that seemed to be the end of the story. Nature gradually reclaimed the land, bridges were demolished and cuttings infilled. In some locations it was difficult to believe that a railway ever once passed through. But perchance it was indeed just sleeping, because in 1995 Woody Bay Station was purchased by the Lynton and Barnstaple Railway Trust, and after much effort a short section of railway reopened to passengers in 2004. This was extended to approximately a mile in 2006 following the rebuilding of Bridge 67, with trains now running between Woody Bay Station and a new temporary terminus at Killington Lane. The Lynton and Barnstaple Railway also owns other sections of the original trackbed, and in 2002 Exmoor Associates was set up to purchase and maintain other available parcels of land on the route of the railway. Currently, the Lynton and Barnstaple Railway Trust owns about 4 3/4 miles and Exmoor Associates a further 3 miles. Together, the two companies own almost 40% of the original trackbed. When holidaying in North Devon, I invariably visit the reopened railway at Woody Bay, but I also like to see what evidence still exists of the rest of the line almost 90 years after its closure, and to witness the miracles that volunteers have achieved on areas of the line owned by both companies. For anyone wishing to do the same, please remember that most of the Lynton and Barnstaple Railway route remains in private ownership with no right of access. Trespass by enthusiasts can cause problems. Please do not walk on private land. The station at Barnstaple served both mainline trains to Ilfracombe and the Lynton and Barnstaple Railway. It was opened on the 16th of May 1898, replacing the original Barnstaple Town Station, which was sited a short distance away. Amazingly, the station building has survived, but sadly both the main line and Lynton and Barnstaple Railway trackbeds have long since been eradicated, along with any evidence that a narrow gauge railway once ran through the town. After leaving the station, the railway used to follow a right-hand curve which brought it alongside the River Yeo. A car park now occupies what once was Pilton Yard, which was the base of the company, with locomotive and carriage sheds, repair shops and an extensive goods yard. The next evidence of the railway's course can be found on the outskirts of the town near Barnstaple Social Club. It is the remains of Bridge 6. The railway crossed over the River Yeo on Bridge 8 at Raleigh Weir. The bridge deck has long since gone, but beneath a thicket of brambles the abutments are still clearly visible. The next quarter of a mile of trackbed is owned and maintained by Exmoor Associates. It forms a very pleasant walk alongside the river. Snapper Halt is Exmoor Associates' flagship site. This section includes the original railway halt, complete with a waiting shelter and platform, along with half a mile of trackbed. Over the last few years, volunteers have been gradually clearing the trackbed and station site and restoring it to how it looked before the railway closed. If one listens carefully, is it still possible to hear the faint chuff of a Manning wardle or the Baldwin Lynn steadily making its way along the valley? Exmoor Associates also owns over 3/4 of a mile of trackbed near Collard or Collar Bridge. This bridge carries a small road across the trackbed. It marks the start of the 1 in 50 ascent of the line, which continues for 8 miles to Blackmoor. The bridge gets its name as it is where the real collar work started for the locomotive crews. Chelfham Viaduct carried the railway 70 foot high across the Stoke Rivers Valley. This 132 yard long viaduct is the largest narrow gauge railway structure in England. It was classified as a Grade 2 listed structure in 1965. In 2000 the viaduct was extensively restored, including the fitting of a waterproof membrane to the deck, improvements to rainwater drainage and restoration of the parapets. The structure is currently owned by the Highways Agency. Chelfham Station was purchased in 1999. Since then, volunteers have worked tirelessly to restore it to how it would have been when the railway was in operation. The railway was awarded the Hendy and Pendle Trust Volunteers Award at the 2021 National Railway Heritage Awards for the restoration of Chelfham Station. The award recognises projects that involve a significant amount of volunteer work to restore a historic railway building. Chelfham Station is open to visitors on Wednesdays and Sundays. The Lynton and Barnstaple Railway also owns a section of the line from the station heading north through woods towards Bratton Fleming, and the next section after that running through open fields is owned by Exmoor Associates. Bratton Fleming Station was purchased by Exmoor Associates in November 2020. The building is currently a domestic residence. However, work has already begun on some small-scale restoration projects, including sourcing a replacement Victorian letterbox, which once adorned the station, and reinstatement of ornate finials at each end of the ridge. Planning permission has been granted to reinstate the goods shed on this site. The Trust also owns about 1/3 of a mile of trackbed running through this cutting towards Blackmoor. A little further north, part of the old trackbed has been adopted as a road. This section begins at Narracott Bridge and runs for about 6/10 of a mile. The next section of the trackbed running northwards is also owned by Exmoor Associates. The old station inn at Blackmoor Gate was purchased by the Trust in 2023, making it the 6th original station, which has now been saved for future reinstatement of the railway. At Blackmoor, a new railway formation will allow the pub and restaurant to continue to function as it is, and this facility will complement the restored railway. The fully restored station at Woody Bay gives a tantalising glimpse of what a fully restored railway could bring to the area. None of the original locomotives survived. However, a replica of Lynn was completed in 2017. Lynn was a 242 tank locomotive built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia. It was commonly referred to by the staff as the Yankee. Lynn is currently sharing duties with Bagnall 440 Sir George Newnes, which was renamed in August 2024 in honour of the founding chairman of the original Lynton and Barnstaple Railway Company. Parts of several original carriages have been rescued by the Lynton and Barnstaple Railway Trust, and these fragments are now being used to create replicas of the original coaches. After very long and extensive restorations, 5 carriages have already been restored and are now running on the railway, and more will follow.
The building is quite flat, that's where everyone's happened right there.
A planning application has recently been submitted to extend the current operating railway another 6/10 of a mile to a new temporary terminus at Cricketfield Lane. This will involve a major civil engineering project to reinstate Bridge 65, allowing the railway to pass underneath Killington Lane. Currently the only clue that a railway ever passed this way is this row of concrete boundary posts. A little further along, this cattle creep will need to be refurbished. Bridge 63 still carries Paracombe Lane over the railway, but the bridge has been infilled along with a cutting on each side of it, and all of this will need to be excavated. The northern terminus of the railway was at Lynton, where a water-powered cliff railway linked it to the village of Lynmouth 500 feet below. The Lynton and Lynmouth Cliff Railway was built in 1888 and is still carrying tourists today. It remains the world's highest and steepest fully water-powered railway. Next time I'm in North Devon, not only am I hoping to visit more sections of the original route, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that work will be underway on the Cricketfield Lane extension.